Hey guys, Julian here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make tech house drums like Hot82, Fisher, and Patrick Topping. As you can see, we've got a blank Ableton project file here, and I'm going to be going from nothing to a nice little finished sort of drum track here, and you'll learn how to do everything and how to really make it sound professional. And to do this, I'm going to be using this new sample pack, which I just dropped on my Bandcamp. The link to this pack is right at the top of the description. This is called Definitive Tech House Drums Volume 1 by Julian Earl. What this is the definitive collection of tech house drums. You can see we've got 20 claps and snares here. We've got 5 drum construction loops here, where it's loops, as you can see. And then you get all the individual sounds as well. So we've got 5 of those, 20 hi-hats, 20 kicks, 20 percussions, and then 10 rides here. And then with this, you also get the project file that I'm about to create in this video, as well as 10 free bonus bass lines, which we'll be using in this video, as well as this free tech house mastering rack that I created. So you can really get that fat, full sound when you get your tracks ready to go. So the link to the sample pack is in the description. Like I said, it's a great one for this style. It's got a bunch of really professional sounds in it. You know, the thing is, like, with a lot of sample packs, I feel like they really don't sound that professional. You have to do a lot to really get them to sound proper. But with this, it's meant to just already, right off the gate, sound great and sound really full and professional in your tracks. Like, you can hear all these kicks. You know, very solid, very punchy, and they're going to work really well. So we're going to be using this to create some drums today and show you guys how to make your own drums. And like I said, if you want to get this pack, the link is right at the top of the description. And yeah, let's get going. So typically, when I make a track like this, I'll start with the kick. So what we can do is I'll just grab one of these. Let's get this one. And let's go to 124 BPM. Usually, that's a pretty popular BPM for tech house. Like, I know a lot of the Fisher tracks are at 124 BPM. A lot of Patrick Topping tracks, usually anywhere like 124 to 125 to 126 is good. I've even seen some tracks at 127. But yeah, so we just got the kick in there. Throw in this little doo-doo. Very like Michael Bibi and Pasta-esque. From there, I'll usually with the kick just take it and add a little bit of saturation. Maybe a little bit more. And let's actually do this with the drum bus. You could use saturator or drum bus for this. But I do like the transient knob on the drum bus. It's good for giving it a little bit more punch. But cool, so now we have a really fat and full sounding kick. You can see you really don't need to do a whole lot. Like, if you just have really good high quality samples, it comes together pretty quick, as you can see. So yeah, from there, I'll usually just kind of work my way up in terms of like the main things that you hear, and the drums, like the kick is definitely the main loudest thing. So from there, we'll maybe go to like the main hi-hat. Like, let's get that one, and we'll put that on the upbeats. Let's layer this too. Layering can go a long way to really get those like fat hi-hat sounds. And as a matter of fact, I think that what I'm going to do is switch out this layer for this one. But you can see we're kind of getting, like, each of these sounds has 2 different things. Like, this has a lot of nice high end, and we'll actually high pass it a little. And then this has a lot of nice mid-range. And when you put them together, you get this really full, big sounding hi-hat that works really well. And then we just put a little bit of saturation on that to kind of glue them. And I'll put a high pass filter. Usually I do this with the hi-hats to cut out and make sure there's no low end. And there we go. Now we have our main hi-hat. So again, just kind of like layering together two sounds that are doing two very different things. Whenever you're layering, as long as they're doing two different things, you're pretty much good. Like, you just want to make sure you're not just layering together two sounds just to make it louder, like in one range, you know? But yeah, so then from there, we'll get the clap. I'll get one of these. I like that one. Yeah, just anything that's really like punchy like this, like it almost has like a little bit of a snare quality to it. Let's go back to that original one. Alright, there we go. And then just a little bit of saturation on that. And then what I'm also going to do at this stage is I'm going to group the hi-hat and the clap together. So typically the way I like to set up my tech house tracks is to have two main groups. We would have a low-end group, which would be the kick and the bass. So in this case, I don't have a bass yet. I think I'm going to bring in one of these bonus bass lines toward the end, and then we'll do this. But I'd have like a low-end group like that, and then I would have a group like this, which is just for the percussion and sort of like just like the drums, if that makes any sense. Everything that isn't the kick, basically. And the reason for this is because we want to process these things together, because when you just have these all playing side by side like this, you know, it can sound pretty good. But to really get everything to sound cohesive and full, you need to group it together and do a little bit of processing as a group. So if we take these and maybe add a bit of drum bass, and then a bit of a high pass, you can see now they fit together a lot more. And they feel a lot more cohesive in the overall track. And then when we add in more percussion and different sounds, it's really going to like, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, from there what I'll usually do is add in maybe some more detailed stuff. Like we could go to these drum loops here, and I'm going to find there's like a little shaker in here. There we go, that's the one. So the idea of using the loop here is not just to make it easy. It's not just to sort of, you know, take a shortcut, but it's because you get something with loops that you just can't quite get with programming percussion. Like if you listen to this loop, it just has this very lively sort of shaker feeling, which, as you can hear, adds a lot to the track. And that's something that you just can't quite create with programming percussion. So you can hear, that's why we go for a loop there. And then I'll just put a little bit of a high pass filter on this, cut out some low end. And cool, there we go. And then from there, I'm going to get a drum rack. And in here, what we're going to do is we're just going to get a little bit more percussion. Just some few like extra things, like maybe we'll get a snare. Let's use this one, and we'll get some percussions. Let's get that one, and that one, and that one. And that one, that's cool. Alright, and then so when we have these in a drum rack, it just makes it a little bit easier to work with now, because now we just kind of have all the percussion in one place, and you can just kind of start throwing it in. Like so. Have that one there too. And you can see I'm adding a little bit of swing with these. You know, everything isn't just like perfectly on the grid. All the 16th notes are a little bit off, and it makes it feel a little bit more lively and just kind of like groovy. Let's do that, and then I'll move that velocity down a little bit more. As you can hear what this is adding, yeah, now we have some actual percussion in there. Cool, sounds pretty good. And then we have it in a drum rack like this, you know, it's all just in one place. Makes it very easy to work with. So this is a good workflow for making percussion like this. Like, just try making your own moves using drum rack. Just grab a bunch of sounds. You don't even have to use them all. Like how I've done here, you can see I only used a few of these, but it's just about kind of setting up a color palette for yourself. Like, think of it like when you're painting, you know, you don't just like start painting right away. You put some colors together, you know, mix a few things, kind of see what's going to fit together. And then you may not even use all the colors, but you have them all there to get creative with. But cool, sounds pretty nice. Let's add one of these rides as well, you know. This is a good way to kind of pick your track up after a certain point, like, and kind of get the energy going again. Let's use this one. You know, just like a nice clear ride sample like this. We'll cut out the low end. And this is just going to play on the upbeats with the hi-hats. Usually I'll put like a little bit of chorus on this to kind of make it a bit wider. Makes it stand out in the beat. Alright, cool. Sounds pretty good. Now, to tie it all together, I'll grab one of these free bonus bass lines that comes with the pack. Let's use that one. That's cool. Alright, and then to mix this in, we'll just sidechain it a little bit to the kick. And we'll put those in a group like I was saying. Put a little bit of saturation on there. And there we go. That's how you do it. That's how you go from scratch and create some really powerful, professional sounding tech house drums in the style of Fisher and Hot Since 82 and Patrick Topping and Michael Bibi and all those DJs. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Let me know if this one helped you, if you want to see more of these tech house videos. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this sample pack in the description, Definitive Tech House Drums Volume 1. It is the best tech house sample pack I have seen on the market. It's just got a ton of really good claps and snares, really good moves so you can work with those and learn what's going on in these tracks, and also just have some cool moves to work with, some really nice hi-hats, really nice kicks, percussions, rides, Plus, you get the bonus Tech House mastering rack as well as the free bonus bass lines. So you really have everything you need here to start your own Tech House track, including this project file that we created in this video. This is available right at the top of the description. If you guys want to support me, this is a great way to do it. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.